Welcome back to another episode of Open Source Cafe, and today we have Saiyam here with us. Saiyam, welcome to the show. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, hi Kunal, and thanks for having me. My name is Saiyam Pathak, and I'm a CNCF ambassador, currently working as Director of Technical Evangelism at a company called CIVO, building kind of the next gen cloud native platform, Kubernetes platform, community driven, and a lot more. So, I'm also all Kubernetes certified, so CKA, CKAD, CKS. And when not coding, I try to contribute to the community by writing blogs, organizing meetups. Yeah, the meetups are not there during COVID times, so I'm running the YouTube channel and trying to be on as much as virtual events as possible. And yeah, I run my own YouTube channel, and I have my book as well, which I wrote for CKS certification.
This video is sponsored by Datree, a tool that you can use to prevent Kubernetes misconfigurations from reaching production. Using Datree, you can catch misconfigurations in the development phase and set or create policies to receive failure alerts. It's useful for different stages of deployment and helps you measure resource usage by applying mandatory labels to workloads. 10,000 plus engineers are already using Datree. Check out the links in the description below to get started today. Most definitely, and we'll talk more about that, in the future, in the video as well. But make sure you check out the links in the description and give the subscribe up button for Saiyam's channel listed down over there. So make sure you show your support. Some amazing content available over there. But in this session, we are actually, in Open Source Cafe, we are highlighting community, members who are doing great work, and not just like the technical aspect, but also actually like a little bit about the person, right? The human touch. So we're going to talk about that. But the overall theme of this session, of this podcast, is going to be about how you can make a career in cloud and how Saiyam got started and how he can, help you get started. So we'll answer all these questions related to what a junior person does, what a senior person does right after college, or as a new grad, how do you find roles and certifications? Like Saiyam mentioned, he has so many. But let's talk. Let's go back, back in time, like back to the college life. So what was your, college life like, or what kind of, a student were you? Were like a topper, or yeah, a little bit about that. Yeah.
Interesting. I haven't talked about my college life in a long time now, to be very honest. So it will bring back a lot of memories, I believe. College life was pretty decent and enjoyable. And yeah, we kind of I got a complete clean degree, so there was no backs that I got ever, and it was interesting because when we started, so I have done computer science engineering and again 4-year course which is there. So we started off with the traditional M1 and all these subjects. So I actually got very good score in my M1, so it was one in the top two, I believe.
Which is M1? M1 is like, are you talking about
Mathematics, yeah.
manufacturing?
Mathematics one. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
mathematics one. Nice, nice,
yeah,
nice.
I don't know nowadays which is there. So in
No,
our
no,
time it's
nowadays
same.
also it's like maths 1, maths 2, maths 3, and maths
Math,
4.
yeah, correct. So it was like
Yeah.
M1 was kind of the most the toughest exam that was considered at that point of time. I don't know whether it still is, but it was actually, because there are a lot of theorems and all that stuff, which is totally kind of useless if you're not into some of those areas where you'll be applying them. But yeah, there are areas which definitely where you can apply them. I'm not saying that you should not do that.
Did you did you have any like non-CS subjects like manufacturing process and
Yep.
metallurgy and right? So
in,
did you have
in
those workshops as well
yeah,
where
I
you cut
created.
metal and
Absolutely. I created a funnel, I remember, in my sheet metal workshop. We had a
yeah,
foundry
yeah, yeah.
workshop where we did some
Same.
digging
I
in.
had the exact same. Yeah. This video is sponsored by Teleport. Are you juggling with shared secrets, SSH keys, or hopping between VPNs and multiple access points? Check out Teleport to quickly access your computing resources from anywhere. Teleport allows engineers and security professionals to unify access for SSH servers, Kubernetes clusters, web applications, and databases across all environments. With a unified resource catalog, there is no need to maintain inventories. You can also work together to troubleshoot a problem with your colleagues on a remote server or on each other's laptops and record these sessions as well using shared sessions. Teleport also provides ready-to-use auth for your internal web applications. Easily implement security and compliance with Teleport to adopt industry best practices for access across all protocols and all environments with minimal configuration. How does it work? Teleport is a single binary which enables secure access to SSH nodes, Kubernetes clusters, web apps, and databases. Deployed as a single binary, it seamlessly integrates with the rest of your stack. Get started with Teleport now and try it for free. Check out the links in the description below for more information.
And we created a stool in the end. A stool, I think all the stools which were there were created by the students. So it was pretty interesting. So I had a good kind of run overall all 4 years, and I met my wife as well at college. So that was one of the best parts. And interestingly, all 4 years we had too much fun, to be honest. And I attended all the annual events. I was never like, I'll not attend these and only focus on studying, nothing like that. I was into computer science, and I really liked the coding aspects and the computer science stuff. So I used to organize all the LAN gaming stuff, which used to happen in the events. And then I used to do all sorts of bunking the classes, what a regular college student does. So that obviously has to happen. But I had a very, very good attendance in first semester, because I had kind of a couple of friends who were like that. Over the time, it was like in the end, in the last semesters, it was like I had to, think of different ways to get the attendance. So I was 90 plus in attendance in the first semester, and I went to, I think, around 30 in the last semester, which is okay. It happens.
That's fine. No, last semester it's fine. Like I was in 30% in my first semester and 0.5% in my second year. Like right from my second semester, I didn't go.
Yeah, so I have done a couple of interesting things. Like I have taken my entire class Viva in one of the subjects. I have set one of the papers, the sessionals ones. Help the teacher over there. So those were kind of very interesting times. And our HOD was very kind of strict at first, but once we had a trip to Manali, then she was kind of chill with us, and then we started playing more in the college days. So it was pretty fun time, pretty interesting time. I have most of my college friends in touch. They are well placed in different organizations, well working. Someone has gone to do MS and all that stuff. Some people are there across the IT industry, and someone has their own businesses in teaching. One of the person is school principal. So there are different bunch of things that people have been doing. I ended up here at CIVO over the kind of journey that I have been through. But college life was pretty interesting, and everyone should enjoy it. But also you should focus on just make sure your degree is clean, because that's kind of I would say was one of my goal, just to have my clean degree without any backs, because that gives you mental pressure, like you have to clear it in next go. Will you be able to complete the degree in 4 years and all that stuff. So keeping that in mind, I was just very making sure that I was doing all things kind of right. So it was nothing like being the topper, but I was also not like things are not working out. So I sometimes attended the class, and I sometimes listened to some of the MIT courses, some of the YouTube ones. So those really helped. Like in one of the subjects, which is flat, it really helped in seeing the YouTube videos and the MIT courses, because sometimes it's difficult to understand with the books that you are having here, and you get to understand the real essence of the subject, which is there. But to be very honest, if I would have gone back, what would I change is something that I would have focused more on the core areas, core subjects for computer science, which actually come in play, and I actually go back and read some of those till date, like the operating system, the TSA. Obviously, you should do that, and then you have your computer. There was one, computer visions. It was good,
Yeah,
and also,
networking, compiler
yeah,
design.
networking. Yes, networking, compiler design. They're really good. I mean, that time people, as students, we think, okay, we have to just do
I
it,
agree,
and
because this is the exact same thing people say right now. So you are absolutely correct. Like, you are talking from your experience. Like, okay, in my time they used to say this, but actually things have not changed. Even right now, people ask me, hey, college. In Hindi, if I say college ki padhai to bekar hai, they say, but that is not true. For people who are watching, like, what this line means is that students think that the college subjects are not worth it, but they're actually worth it. It's just that some colleges may not know how to teach the correct way, right? But that does
absolutely.
not mean that it does not mean the subject is not good. Subject is important even in the future field if you want to go. Yeah.
Very, very true. Because there are very interesting subjects, and if you actually read through the book, just take your book, one or two books if you have from your college days, and then open it up, and it actually has all the concepts that you will be needing today to work and to understand, what is happening. Like in Linux world, when we run commands, we need to know some of the stuff. But if you have read the operating system level things, you will see how the file system is getting connected here, how those things are getting connected over here. Those are really good. Computer networking, OSI, TCP, they all carry forward, especially when you are in IT field and IT industry. These things will play a major role. So do not skip any of these subjects. And obviously the coding aspects, I know, like, you get assignments, you need to create programs, you need to solve the labs, and you're done. But if you understand the logics, if you start solving early, the competitive kind of, some of the websites are there, like Geeks for Geeks is there, Lead Code is there, very interesting websites are there which gives you kind of complex problems, and you try to solve them, and they help you in the interviews. So that was true that time as well, because you get the aptitude, then you get a coding round, then you get a management round, HR round, all sorts of rounds which they also carry forward in any experience. Even if now you appear kind of, for a Google interview at any position, you definitely have to go through a coding round, and you cannot skip that. It's just for your logical logical thinking, how you think of a problem. You might not be perfect in writing everything immediately, but if the logics are clear, if the algo is clear, like, this is how I would do this piece, this is how I will solve this puzzle, I think that's enough. But definitely you should, in your college days, if you are right now and watching the video, probably take your CS, some of the subjects very, very carefully, because it will help you big time, and you don't have to revise when you are working.
Totally agree with that. And DSA problem solving skills, very, very important. Even when you work with like web development or whatever, if you want, it's going to be very, very helpful to optimize. Once you start, you will see how DSA gets related. People often ask, do you need DSA for development? Yes, you do. It's core of computer science. Alrighty, moving forward. So after college, right? So what happened after that? Where did you end up, and how did you, what roles were you working with, and how did you join CIVO?
Yeah, that it's been a pretty interesting journey, because I started, so I was actually one of the persons to measure my skills, and I always looked at that time. There were like Java certification was very popular, so I did my OCJP 6, I believe that time was there. I don't know now which version of Java is actually going on, but I did OCJP 6 in long back in my third year starting, I believe. And since then I have been into, I was like, I'll go switch I'll start basically in my Java field itself. So it was pretty interesting, because whenever the companies came, they used to, you have to write aptitude test, and you have to give all sorts of interviews and all that stuff, which sometimes went well, sometimes I didn't get place, it's okay. But in the end, I had a couple of offers, but I was not in getting kind of the right one which I wanted, because there were a couple of off campuses which I was looking for, like HP was there that time. So me and couple of my friends, we all went to Bangalore. We shifted to Bangalore, and we said, okay, like, let's try in Bangalore and see what happens over there, because we heard at that time, like, Bangalore is kind of a Silicon Valley, and of India, and it has tons of opportunities. You'll definitely get something over there. Everybody used to say that, and we just went. A few friends, we just went over there, took a PG, and started looking for jobs. So we also actually in college days think of a couple of startups that we want to found. I used to meet one of my friends, who is still a very good friend of mine.
Everyone does that. Every group does that.
Yeah, so we, how we used to discuss, we used to meet at Books and Brew, which is there in Chandigarh, and we used to think of, today a new version of Linux has come, so let's explore it, and so and so stuff has come, let's explore it, Raspberry Pi and all that we used to do at that time. And there was a thing that we did on Raspberry Pi. I don't remember what was that, to be very honest, but there was something that we actually did. Then in college, one thing that missed was, like, I did my internship in DRDO, which was amazing. So I was the only one from my college who got the internship in 6 month, which is internship in DRDO, Defense Research and a Development Organization, Chandigarh. And I was working in under Scientist E, which is kind of a designation. He was the director of that particular DRDO division. It was amazing. There was, I think, 32 gigs of RAM computers that I was working on at that time, and they were like super fast. I was working on a project which was super new called NASA Whirlwind, and used to process the satellite images coming in around 2 GBs, 3 GBs, and even more, and then process it and all that stuff. So I designed all that stuff, and then created a small website for their Avalanche program, which was there. Obviously some of the details are kind of confidential of that, but yeah, I designed some of those, and then it was great. I actually was offered a junior scientist, I think, over there, like, not offered, basically you have to give an exam, so you can sit an exam and you can do that stuff, but I somehow didn't.
Don't you need like PhDs and stuff for scientists here in India?
Yeah, you need, but there was a junior research fellow that is called JRF, if I believe, that you can sit for. Yeah, that you can sit for. And apart from that also, there are different positions that opens up in DRDO, which you can fill a form, and then you have to give an exam and interviews and all that. There also, there were like, interview was amazing. Like, there were 6 scientists sitting in front of me who were all PhDs, and they took my Java interview. That was kind of pretty interesting, and I was selected. I was very happy. I did a project. I was very happy because NASA Whirlwind was something very interesting that I did in my college also. When my professors, they heard, like, wow, this is happening. I got very good grades and marks in the end semester as well. So after this, obviously this helps you. So when you have the DRDO certificate in your hand, the internship one, it definitely helps you. That's why in your college life, try to achieve, don't really try to achieve, just try to put an effort to try something different. Because in my days, people just used to pay some amount, do a 6-month training, and do a sample project. So they do here in institutes, they will be having 10-15 sample projects. You pick one of them, they help you do it. It's not that you don't learn something. Yeah, some institute does that also, like, you just pay and you get the project. That still happens, I believe, but you do that, and then you just you end up paying no learnings, no interesting learnings, and then you end up submitting the project, which is okay. But if you try an extra mile and start applying for the internships, for which you don't have to pay, and you get the knowledge, I think those are the very interesting internships that you should definitely go for. And especially if they are related to government organizations, do not think twice. In electronics, BHEL is very good. My brother did from BHEL when he was in his engineering days, because he was from electronics background, and I did from DRDO. So like this, if you get some of the opportunities, definitely take those instead of learning something by paying an institute, getting a certificate, and then going back and showcasing that particular project.
Yeah, could not agree more. And also, one now that times have changed quite a lot, and I think you would agree, and I totally agree with the government internships, and because many of my friends have done these things, and these are still also going on. DRDO still gets interns and everything. Also, you can apply to some research internships as like big IITs or whatever. They also do some nice projects. The one thing that is my personal favorite in as a as an alternative for these other projects and stuff is open source. So now open source is for students as well, like a great thing. You can get to learn a lot, projects, mentorship, networking, skills, everything you want you can get via open source.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to be very honest, if obviously, like, if it was there in our times as well, definitely I would have opted for it. Why not? It's a great opportunity. I used to search a lot. I used to because me and my friend, when we came to Bangalore, so now we are in Bangalore, and we already have seen the meetup scene over there. So there was like people used to meet up and they used to discuss the technology on a weekends, and then they all disperse and go back to their homes. This concept was very new at that time, because I mean, especially for me, because in Chandigarh this was not happening. And when I went there, it was like, this is interesting. Let's go. So me and my friends, we used to go to some of the meetups and see what is happening. Some people are talking on Docker and all that stuff. At that time, my friend actually built a sample Docker application. He won a PlayStation as well. It was, I think, one of the Microsoft meetups. I don't remember, but it was there, and he actually won that. Very special.
They were giving a PlayStation during a Microsoft meetup.
Yeah, something was there. Like, it might be an event, but
no, I was just saying Microsoft has like Xboxes, right? So that's like a bit.
Yeah, it was like sorry, it was Xbox. Yeah, it was Xbox. So some PS and some gaming stuff they did give. And from then we started, like, now we are in Bangalore. Now let's go. Let's start our journeys. Let's go to the off-campus stuff which is happening for graduates. We started looking out. Every day we just put our shirts and trousers on, and we went to just like to explore things. So we attended a couple of them, and I got in a couple of them. Then we are I don't know, something didn't click, so we are just waiting for the right moment. And that right moment happened when HP came for off campus in one of the colleges. I think it was St. John's in Bangalore. And then we went over there. We 3 friends were there, and the funny part is there were 18 people, so there were 6,000 people who came. The glass broke because of the rush which was there, and people were pushing each other, so the entrance glass itself broke. And then we sat. We had our what you call that, aptitude coding round. Then all couple of more rounds were there. And interesting part is that out of 18, all three of us got into HP. So we all three then started our journeys, and all three started journeys in separate fields. So one in SAP, one.
So you went to like Bangalore without like any just went there and started looking for like networking and jobs, and that's great. Like that is what I recommend people as well. Like, go to events, network with people, and you will find opportunities, and you will create opportunities. It's not just about finding, it's about creating opportunities as well. Cool, that is great. And how did you then start with CIVO? How did that happen?
Before that, so when I was in Bangalore, I was also having now I just before attending this HP one, I was having the Cognizant offer, and I did work there around 1.5 months, I believe, which is just the initial training period. So, but that location was in Coimbatore. So, but I used to come, every weekend to Bangalore. So I worked in Cognizant for almost 30-45 days, and then the Coimbatore, I was not actually liking the food, to be very honest, because I'm a Punjabi and I'm a very foodie.
Is it in South Kerala somewhere?
Yeah, it's in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah.
So I was there, and nothing against anybody. They are very awesome people. I mean, to be very honest, the cognizant group is still there in my WhatsApp, and I still talk to the people, and they are really awesome folks, who were there, and some of them are really in doing good in some of the foreign universities and all that. So it was really great, but somehow I couldn't gel up. And one night when the HP was there, so I took a bus, overnight bus. I came in the morning, I picked up my friends from the same taxi, and we went to St. John's. And then we gave all this interview process and everything, and we got selected, because we were told there itself that it's done, and you are selected. So we were very happy. We waited for our offer letters. Actually, very funny part. Now, without having the offer letter, I actually resigned from Cognizant. And it was funny part, because my offer letter got delayed after that. And even after having multiple offers, I was sitting idle and doing nothing. And it was the most funny and the frustrating part, because at one point I was earning, and suddenly I stopped. I do not have an offer, though I have one which I have to join. But in sometimes what happens is you don't get offer, or it gets delayed by many months. It has happened before in some of the companies. So I was very worried. And then because both of me other friends, they actually got the offer, and they started working, and I was still waiting. Now in HP, there is a shutdown at the end, which is in December. So usually they do not give the offer letters or the joinings in the period of December. That's why it was delayed. So they had a genuine reason, but I was not knowing that. So it was very interesting portions. And I started in January, and I went in HP. Very cool office. I was feeling very happy, because see, one day, a long time back, my first laptop was a HP laptop. And I used to tell my friends, one day I'll work for this company, and we'll see. I never knew that time, like what HP does or all that stuff. It was very long back that I bought one of the HP laptops. And getting into there was a victory for me, because kind of a very victorious feeling, that okay, I told something, and I got into one of the companies who make laptops, who has such a big footprint in the IT industry. It was in Fortune 100, or I think Fortune 50 companies at that time. So I was really happy. My brother, my parents were so proud. And I started working. But now how things changed after that is, I was from Java, and I wanted something in Java. And after this, I got into a technology called LifeRay. So my first project, which was there, was in LifeRay domain, and it was very interesting project, a very interesting technology, still is very relevant. So LifeRay is actually based on Java. So if you know Java, you will be able to easily code in LifeRay. They have their own IDEs, and it's also open source. And though you have the enterprise version, but it has the open source version as well. So I used to work in LifeRay, and again, we were like freshers, and we used to have a lot of fun over there, attending all the fun activities. There was no kind of too much pressure when you are in such a big organization. So that was a massive organization, because now when I compare it, because I'm working at CIVO, so it was a massive organization. And you have so many folks in my team. At that time, there were around 70 people in my team alone on one project. So that was amazing, that how people handle these things. There was Scrum at that time. There was daily Scrums. There was a proper what you call a dashboard for having all your engagements, and there were this release cycles.
And what role were you doing? Like currently, like was it in a
Software.
DevOps role or a
No.
software suite?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a software engineer, software developer role that I was in. Proper software developer, doing coding stuff, and just knowing nothing about DevOps, knowing nothing about Docker. Yeah, I knew some bits because I heard it from my friend, but knowing nothing about any of this stuff. So I was not knowing about Docker, and it was very new that time, very new, just coming out actually. So I didn't know anything about that. So I was just core into that. After this, I